It started with a single flicker. On a quiet Tuesday night, the streetlight outside Mrs. Hartman's house on Ashford Lane blinked twice, buzzed, and went out. She called the power company the next morning, but they said there was no outage. By Friday, 2 more lights were dead. Nobody thought it was strange until Monday, when Daniel Price vanished. I heard about it from my friend Carly over coffee at Denny's. "They're saying he was last seen walking home from work," she whispered, leaning in, "right under one of those busted lights." "Coincidence," I said. "People disappear all the time." Even as I said it, I didn't believe myself. Ashford Lane was where I grew up. My mom still lived there, in the house with the red shutters and hydrangeas in the yard. I drove down that street at least 3 times a week, and I'd never noticed anything unusual. But that night, driving home from work, I slowed as I turned onto it. 5 streetlights were out now. The dark pools between the working lamps seemed almost thicker than they should be. My headlights didn't cut through them properly. As I passed the old Miller house, boarded up for years, I thought I saw something move just inside the shadows. A shape, too tall to be a person. I hit the gas. By Thursday, the rumors had started. People said the dark was eating the road. Kids dared each other to walk it after midnight. No one made it past the 3rd lamp. That night, my mom called me. "Sam," she said, her voice trembling, "can you come by?" The light outside went out. She didn't need to say which one. I was at her house in under 10 minutes. The streetlight across from her driveway was dead, and the next one down was flickering faintly like it was gasping for breath. The air felt wrong, heavy. Inside, Mom kept glancing at the windows. "It's been out since last night," she said. "I keep hearing noises." "What kind of noises?" She opened her mouth to answer, but froze. A scraping sound came from outside, like something dragging over the asphalt. Slow, deliberate. We both moved to the window. The dark under the broken light seemed alive, swirling faintly, like mist without wind. Then, something stepped forward. It wasn't human. Long limbs, jointed wrong. Skin the color of wet ash. Its head tilted as if listening. And though it was easily 20 feet away, I swear I heard it breathing. Then the flickering light 2 poles down went out. The dark spread toward us. "Sam," Mom whispered. "It's coming." We shut the curtains and locked every door, but the scraping kept moving closer. At one point, I thought I saw a shadow seep under the front door, stretching like spilled ink toward the living room. Then the sound stopped. Just stopped. I didn't sleep that night. The next day, I went to the library to dig through old town records. Ashford Lane had been built in the late 1800s. Back then, it had been called Old Quarry Road. That caught my eye. There hadn't been a quarry in town for decades. A deeper search turned up a single newspaper clipping from 1894. 4 miners found dead in quarry collapse, bodies recovered. Horribly distorted. Locals urged to avoid sight at night. The quarry had been filled in. Guess what runs right over it now? That night, 2 more lights went out. I drove the length of Ashford Lane just before midnight, phone in hand, recording everything. Between the 6th and 7th poles, the darkness seemed to press in on the car. My high beams barely reached more than a few feet ahead. Something moved along the side of the road, keeping pace with me. Tall, loping. Then, without warning, my car died. Headlights, engine, everything off. The silence was suffocating. From the dark ahead, 2 pale shapes emerged. Hands, long fingers scraping the pavement. I grabbed my phone, but the screen was dead. And then I heard the breathing again, right outside the driver's side door. A knuckle rapped once against my window. I turned my head slowly, and something stared in at me with eyes like hollow moons. I didn't move. Couldn't. The thing's face was inches from mine, skin stretched thin over sharp bone, a mouth too wide, teeth like broken glass. It tilted its head, studying me the way a butcher studies a cut of meat. Then it grinned. The passenger door clicked open. Not by me. Cold air rushed in, thick with the stench of damp earth. I scrambled across the seat, shoving the door closed again and locking it. The grin didn't fade. If anything, it grew wider. The car jolted violently, something pushing from behind. I grabbed the keys, twisting. The engine roared to life like it had never died. I floored it. In my rearview mirror, I saw them. 2. No. 3 of them now. Standing in the road, watching me go. The dark clung to them like a shroud. When I got home, I called the police. Officer Burke listened, sighed, and said, "Stay off Ashford Lane at night. That's all I can tell you." His tone made it clear he knew more than he was saying. The next day, Carly called me in tears. Her brother had gone missing, last seen walking home from a party. His house? Right on Ashford Lane. That night, I armed myself with a flashlight, a bat, and the stupid courage that comes from desperation. I was going to find him. Ashford Lane was worse than before. Almost half the lights were gone now, the rest dim and buzzing. My flashlight cut maybe 10 feet ahead before the beam just stopped. The darkness was swallowing it. Somewhere ahead, a shape moved. I called his name. No answer. Then I heard whispering. Not from one place. From everywhere. Words I couldn't understand, layered over each other, growing louder. My skin prickled. The air turned colder. From the blackness, the first creature stepped forward. Behind it, more followed. Their limbs clicked as they walked, bending in ways they shouldn't. I shone the flashlight at them, and the beam bent away, like light was afraid to touch them. They surrounded me. Something brushed my arm. I swung the bat hard, and it passed through nothing. When I looked again, they were closer. Close enough for me to see the hollow pits where their eyes should have been. A voice rose above the whispers. Deep. Ancient. It said my name. The nearest creature reached out. Its hand was impossibly cold as it touched my forehead. Images slammed into my mind. Men screaming in the dark of the collapsed quarry. Bones twisting. Bodies stretching into these things. And the hunger. Always the hunger. My knees buckled. The dark surged forward like a wave, swallowing the street, the houses, everything. The last thing I saw was the final streetlight going out.